Welcome back to the Yeah No Yeah podcast. I am your host, Noah. With me we have Justin. How you doing today, Justin?
I'm good. I'm a little stuffy. Sorry about that, but I'm
A
doing
little
good.
stuffy. See,
Yeah.
I had allergies earlier, and I thought I was getting sick because my throat's a little scratchy, but I think it's just allergies, to be honest with
Yeah.
you. 'Cause,
I think
it goes in and out.
yeah, I think I'm a mixture of both, but it is what it is. I'm here. I'm alive.
All right, this week we got the NBA opening day, I
Yeah,
guess.
debut. Yeah.
Debut, yeah.
Opening 2 days.
Yeah, 2 days. We got NFL hot seat for coaches, and we got some college pickings for you, and we got our World Series predictions. Let's go. All right. I feel like we got to start with Wemby, right?
Yep,
That was
of course.
That was the big topic coming into the season, like how he was going to do. He played pretty good. For that first game, I think a lot of people were just expecting more, but I think going into it, it was about what I expected.
Yeah. I mean, he played all right. He was efficient. He had I think he had 2 blocks, I think it was. 15
Yep.
points, 2 blocks, a couple rebounds, a couple assists, I think. Nothing too crazy. My biggest takeaway was he did get in foul trouble, and then it seemed like, and maybe this is just, they're still working it out, but it seemed like his teammates weren't really feeding him the ball.
I just think they wanted to ease him into it, not
Maybe.
be the focal point.
Yeah, I guess, but at the same time, you have a 7'4" guard like running down the court wide open. Not wide open. There's a 6'5" guy on him or whatever. Feed him the ball, he's gonna dunk it. Like what are we doing? There were many points in the game where it was like, give him the ball, and they weren't doing it. I think you're right. They're trying to ease him in, but they got to cut that out real quick if they want to make any sort of chance at playoffs. Like they need all the wins they can take.
Yeah, that's what's you mentioned the 7'4" guard
Yeah,
part of it. That's how he plays.
100%.
He doesn't play like a center, which I think it's weird, right? Because he's listed as a center,
Yeah,
but that's not how he's going to play at all. I mean, he shot 3 for 5 from the 3-point line last night.
yeah.
That's efficient from the 3-point line, and I just don't think he's going to play like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you pair him with another 7-foot guy who's going to be the down low option, I think it'd be a lot easier for him.
True. That would be disgusting if you have 2 7-footers. One guy gets the rebounds, defensive anchor, and then you have Wemby who's also a defensive anchor, and he can stretch the floor. Like that's disgusting.
It's almost like a Jared Allen, Evan Mobley type of thing. But
Yeah,
just
but
Wembanyama is obviously a better shooter than Evan
yes,
Mobley,
yes, and a little bit taller.
yeah, and a little bit taller. Yeah, he's just not dominant down low. He needs to be out wider, controlling.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got the handles for it. He
Yeah.
possesses the ball really well. It's just down low. He's not going to be that dominant presence that a lot of 7'5" guys, would be.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, overall, I thought it was a good debut. As long as he keeps improving, I could see him being an easily 25, 10, and 10 player.
yeah, he's going to slowly start taking over more games. Even at the end of that game, I think he scored 9 in the fourth quarter.
Yep, something like that.
So he started to heat up towards the end of the game.
Yeah,
But yeah, he's going to be more of a shooter rather than a down low guy.
100%.
All right, let's move on to the game that ESPN had as game of the day for opening day.
It is a good game. It is a good game.
It was a great game.
Yeah.
And so this is what I mean when I thought the Knicks were going to be, a top-end team.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I expected. They played very well and blew it at the end.
That's the Knicks.
Let's just not talk about it. But the Celtics are exactly what I expected. Porzingis is not. He
Really?
dominated.
I was gonna say. I was like, I always thought he was gonna do amazing. So
I didn't expect this. But now looking back on it, it makes a lot of sense. If there's a lot of pressure on him where he has to be, the main scorer, I think he kind of crumbles under that pressure.
yeah,
Now that he's with Tatum and Brown and Drew Holiday, he doesn't have to be. Like, he's going to have these nights where he goes for 30, and then there's going to be some games where he goes for 10, but it's not, they don't rely on it.
100%.
Like, Tatum and Brown can take over those roles. and he can just be a defensive guy, and like it's fine. Like they're going to gel very well together. This team is the most complete team in the NBA right now.
I might argue you on that one.
We'll see tonight. Right?
I'm still saying the Nuggets are probably the best team.
Fair.
But going to Porzingis, I remember when he came into the league, it was kind of the hype that we're all saying about Victor, a 7-footer who can shoot and move pretty well. I think Victor overall has a way higher potential, but what Porzingis did last night is reminiscent of that. 30 points, 8 rebounds. He can do it if he wants to, and his injury. I know with the Knicks he got injured and then he got traded, so it's kind of just will he rebound from that? He kind of didn't play well. I think it was Dallas is where he was at for a while.
Yeah, Dallas and then the Wizards.
Yeah, he didn't play very well at Dallas. He started to do better on the Wizards. Now he's here. He's thriving. The Celtics look great. The Knicks look great. They're going to be top of the East. Celtics probably be top 2. For the Knicks, though, someone who looked better than I was expecting starting off the gate was R.J. Barrett. I know a lot of people have been saying, he needs to really step it up this year if the Knicks really want a chance. Jalen Brunson didn't do great, 15 points. R.J. Barrett steps up, 24 points. That keeps him in the game. So, the Knicks have a little bit of, I guess, versatility. Right? You got Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, R.J. Barrett could take over a game. Emmanuel Quigley getting 24 points off the bench. Like they're going to be a solid team, and I think going to be a potential competitor for the finals.
Tom Thibodeau's team always does this, where Thibodeau doesn't have star players. He has a team that plays really well together and plays great defense. It's a very deep team. DiVincenzo's a good player. Josh Hart's a great player.
Yep.
Hartenstein played great last night. He brought the energy that they needed. Quickly off the bench, who, in my mind, should probably be starting.
Yeah, he's going to be 6th man of the year. He's going to be 6th man.
Yeah, he will be. But I mean, you're right. R.J. Barrett did very well when they needed him to.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Brunson will do very well when they need him to.
Yeah.
Julius Randle has that opportunity as well. Quentin Grimes,
no,
I'm not sold on him. I'm honestly not sold on him. I don't know why he's starting.
I don't understand.
He plays better defense than Quickly does, so maybe that's why.
This is a league of scoring. You don't need.
Yeah. I mean, Quickly brings that energy off the bench, so maybe that's why they'd rather.
Yeah, maybe he prefers it. Yeah, who knows?
Maybe like a Jay crossover type player.
Yeah, for sure.
But the Knicks played very well against the Celtics team that I think is going to be the best team in the NBA this year. I know you said no. But I think they will be. And the Knicks played them very hard last night.
Yeah, I liked seeing it. It was a good opening couple days for the NBA.
Absolutely. I completely agree. All right. We also got to talk about the Thunder.
Let's do it. The Rising Thunder.
You talk about a game. So, first of all, the Bulls were favored in this matchup. I know they were playing at home, and that was wrong. They dominated the Bulls last night. Shea played amazing. Solidified his top 10 player right now.
Yeah.
Again, they have him over LeBron. We'll we already had this discussion.
Yes.
But, I mean, he's a proven star in this league, and he's now bringing this team up. He's clearly the leader. Chet played great. Lou Dort didn't play great, which I expected him to play a little better, but, he's a defensive guy.
Yeah.
Always kind of has been. But, I mean, they have just a ton of young players who are ready to just break out.
Yeah. I'm excited for this team. For the Bulls, I know I saw this somewhere after that game last night. They had an all players meeting to talk about what happened, and it's game 1. So they're already in panic mode. They know they need to do better. On paper, you have DeMar, who's historically been a scorer, Levine, historically a great scorer, and Vucevic, who came to fame at Orlando being a scorer. How are you only getting 11 points from Vucevic, 20 from DeRozan, and 16 from Levine? They all need to step up. Chicago is in a world of hurt right now. I know it's only been one game, but if they're saying this already, if the team is already panicking, then I only can panic with them.
100%. I think we can all agree that the Thunder aren't a huge defensive threat either.
Yeah.
And they only scored 104.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand that's a lot, still not a lot of points. But compared to what the Pacers did, scoring 143 on the Wizards, like, it's not a lot of points in the grand scheme of things for the NBA.
It should have been a closer game. I don't know how it got this bad. I mean, I'm looking at the field goal percentage. The Thunder shot 55%. The Bulls shot 41.5%. So that right away, is a huge difference. Same thing with 3-point. It was 48 to 29.
It's just, I don't know. This Bulls team, it looked good for a little while, right? They had that run early on when DeMar came over, and he was the focal point. He's just getting up there in age where I just don't think he can be. Yeah. I just don't think this team gels very well. They kind of play similar game styles, and I just don't think it meshes well.
I agree. Yeah, you're right. They're all kind of like that mid-range slasher, and then Vucevic just needs the ball in his hands to put up numbers, and they're not going to do that. So, yeah, very strange team. This might be the year they tear it apart. I know they were trying to run it back basically with the same lineup, but it might be over.
Yeah, I agree. You got any other games you want to talk about?
Not specifically. I think there's a decent amount of games. The Pacers obviously I think they set the record for the most points in a season opener. That was kind of cool to see Bruce Brown do well. Yeah, that was cool. And then the Lakers and the Nuggets, obviously, great game. I was sure the Nuggets were going to win. It kind of looked like it up until the third quarter, and then the Lakers came back a little bit, and I was like, oh, maybe we got a game. I saw that LeBron was frustrated, and I don't know if you saw the clip. He was talking to his coach, and he's like, I can play point guard if you put me in there. And everyone's like, he's asking for you to put him in. What are you doing?
It's because D'Angelo Russell played horribly at the end of the game.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't, I don't know. I'm still not a huge fan of D'Angelo Russell. He's not the same guy that he was in Brooklyn.
I agree.
It's just not the same player anymore. He's older. He just doesn't fit this team. Honestly, Gabe Vincent fits a little better. I don't think they're going to start him. He'll still come off the bench.
Yeah.
But you're right. LeBron can start at point, and I think they would be perfectly fine with it.
Yeah. Well, I don't think the coaches are going to do it. They're going to run with their lineup.
Play D'Angelo Russell.
And they're going to rest LeBron when they need to rest him. And he's going to be pissed off the whole season.
Yeah, 100%. Anthony Davis played horribly in the second half.
Yeah.
I think if he played better, they might have won that game last night.
Yeah, it's true.
So.
Definitely a team to watch out for. They'll be at the top of the West, but depending on how they rest and how they play, like the streakiness that Anthony Davis has shown, they might be lower seed.
I agree. My Kings, played great. I was wrong about Harrison Barnes.
Harrison Barnes went off. I saw that. I was like, dang.
Oh, my gosh. I was so wrong. He played great. Keep him on the team.
Keep him on the team.
33 points. I was very wrong. I'm sorry, Harrison Barnes.
Which, my thing is, if you take him off, right? Take him off. Murray probably would step up a little bit. De'Aaron Fox had a good game, but he only had 18 points. So maybe it's just he's taking the ball percentage, possession. That could just be it.
Could be. It's a team where you're not going to have the same player score the most amount of points per game.
Yeah.
True. Harrison Barnes will take a game over.
Sabonis.
De'Aaron Fox will take a game over. Malik Monk off the bench will take a game over. It's not like the Suns where you're going to have Booker and Durant and Beal.
Yeah.
It's those three players that are going to get you the most amount of points, and we all know it.
Yes. If they're on the court.
I was going to say, both Booker and Beal are out tonight. So
yes. Oh, Jesus.
Kevin Durant, I hope you drop 50 because I don't see anyone else on your team scoring that many.
Yeah, he's going to need a... Man, I feel bad for that guy. He is old. He's getting up there. I mean, so is LeBron, so who knows, You just got to put the team on the back.
All right, let's swing it on over to the NFL.
All right.
We got an interesting topic for you today. We're going to play NFL Coaching Hot Seat. I've got 4 coaches here who, coming into the season, had pretty high expectations for them. And, either it's not panning out or, we see a different direction for the team. So we're going to start it off with Brandon Staley, the LA Chargers.
Yeah. Do you want to go? You want to open that up?
I'll open it up.
All right.
I think out of anyone, he has the hottest seat right now.
Yeah.
It is playoffs or bust, and they might have to win a playoff game in order for him to keep his job. He was on the hot seat last year, and they decided to go with an offensive coordinator change, which I think was needed, but Brandon Staley came into the league as a defensive guy, and their defensive win rate is horrible. Their run defense is horrible.
Yep.
And as a defensive coach, if you are not performing, and it's actually your offensive weapons that are performing, you're probably going to be looked at as an NFL coaching hot seat, and he definitely is. I don't see him making it out this year.
I fully agree, unless they make it like deep in the playoffs.
Yep.
I believe, I forgot when it was, but I know they blew like a 27-point
last
lead.
year in the playoffs.
Yeah, last to the Jaguars, right?
Yep.
I think that was the moment they're like, okay, it's you got to win or you're leaving. That was that flip of the switch where it's like, okay, this is the last season. You're right. It's kind of like what's happening with the Patriots right now, right? Bill Belichick, obviously an amazing coach, defensive mastermind. His offense isn't looking great. They're still keeping it close and potentially winning games because their defense keeps them in it. If you're a defensive coach, right, that everyone says Staley is, you got to keep yourself in the game, which I guess he kind of is a little bit, right? They didn't get blown out by the Dolphins like the Broncos, but they're still not at that level that they need to be, and they're not staying in those games that they should because of the defense. So yeah, he's probably the coach that's on the hottest seat right now, but I think the next coach that we're going to talk about, in my mind, is the one that probably needs to retire.
Mike McCarthy. Dallas Cowboys, ladies and gentlemen.
Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
He needs to be done. I haven't seen a season where his team was like, oh yeah, Mike McCarthy's doing a great job.
High expectations coming into this year. He knew that he needed to make it progress in the playoffs. It's been a while. They, seem to choke every year in the playoffs for numerous different reasons. And coming into the season, there were a lot of high expectations. That first game against the Giants, they absolutely blew them out.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, yeah, Dallas is back.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at the Giants' record now.
Yeah, it's the Giants.
Here. Yeah. They've played well this season, but I just think that it's just not there yet. They got blown out by the 49ers. They lost against the Cardinals.
Yeah.
It's just these games that either A, they should be close in, like San Francisco, where if that's the standard, that's the Super Bowl favorite right now, you have to keep that a lot closer. Otherwise, if you go into the playoffs knowing you got blown out 42-10,
yeah, that's brutal.
It's not a good look for you. And then against the Cardinals, you can't have those games. If you're going for the number one seed, you want home field advantage. Those games are the ones you have to win, and that's the Cardinals' only win this year. Yes, they're playing a lot better than a lot of people expected, but you can't lose to a 1-5 team.
Yeah,
whose only win is against you.
Yeah, and especially when your defense is the big juggernaut. Their offense is okay, but letting the Cardinals walk over you like they did, that was brutal. Another point I want to make about McCarthy, he wasted Aaron Rodgers. I don't think Dak is a top 5 quarterback, but he is better than what he's playing right now. I don't know what changed or the mentality that changed, because Dak used to be a gunslinger. Now it looks like he just checks down and is timid all the time.
That's
I think
his play style.
He's wasting Dak as well. It's what are we doing here? You're wasting two Aaron Rodgers, obviously Hall of Fame, one of the best quarterbacks of all time. Dak Prescott, a top 10 quarterback in the NFL if he actually played how he should. He has the mobility. He should be a less run version of Lamar Jackson.
So with the way that they play right now, they play like a ground and pound type offense.
Which is stupid.
It kind of is, just because of the running back that they have. Tony Pollard is not a ground and pound guy.
Oh.
Like, he is a speed
agile,
first
yeah.
receiving type of running back. If that's the way you want to play, there's a running back in the trade market right now. His name's Derrick Henry. Maybe
Go
you've
get
heard of
him. Go get him.
He's a ground and pound type of player.
Honestly.
Go out and get him, pair him with Tony Pollard, and there's your offense. Like, if that's the way you want to play, there's an option out there for you.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones, I'm telling you, go out and make a trade.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, I know people are saying that Dak doesn't have the weapons around him that he used to have. CeeDee Lamb's a good wide receiver. Probably not wide receiver 1 material. We've talked about this before. Amari Cooper being on the team really helped him. There's wide receivers out there ready to trade. You have both the guys from the Broncos. I can't think of their names right now.
Jerry Jeudy, Courtland Sutton.
Yes, there you go. There's 2 guys right there. Go get one of them. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, like, they've got Michael Gallup, they've got Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks this year looks like he's a very streaky guy.
Yeah.
Looks like he's getting up there in age now. Like, he's starting to show his age a little bit.
Yep.
Michael Gallup's a slot guy.
Yep.
Like, that's his position. And he plays it well to a certain extent.
Good enough.
He's a wide receiver. He's a wide receiver 3. You know.
Yep.
So, go out and make a trade.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. I think McCarthy isn't in as much of a hot seat just because, his history of winning the Super Bowl or whatever. But in my mind, he's on this list that we have. He's the one that's like, he should be doing better. That's just me, I guess.
Talk about another guy that should be better. Zac Taylor.
Zac Taylor.
Coach of the Bengals. 3-3 record. Yes, Joe Burrow is hurt. Yes, he has not played well, and neither has the offense. This team's offensive weapons, if Joe Burrow is hurt, why are we not changing this game?
Yeah.
The Bengals defense has played phenomenally this year.
Well, let's not say phenomenal. They've been good to great. We'll say that.
Yeah, okay, true. They're not one of the top 5, Steelers, Browns,
yes,
Cowboys, Jets.
Yes.
But they've kept them in games.
Yes, 100%.
Where when the Bengals had one of the worst offenses early on in the league, the Bengals defense kept them in the game.
Yes.
They have. Yeah, actually, looking back at these scores is a little ugly, but.
But
giving up 24 to the Browns, 27 to the Ravens.
Well, the Browns had Nick Chubb at the time.
Oh, they did. You're right.
The Ravens have proven that they are an elite team.
You're right. 27 to the Titans is a little ugly.
That's ugly. Well, I'll give you that.
Rams 16. That's serviceable.
Yeah.
That's why they won.
Exactly.
Cardinals 20. They're playing a little better offense than people expected.
Mm-hmm.
And then 13 the Seahawks is pretty good. So
yeah.
But yeah, looking at it, didn't look as good as when I came into that topic. But
that's all right. I mean, the point still stands. The Bengals are a decent team, but I think the record shows for them. They're 500 right now.
It's true. They are a second half team for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But this is probably the roughest start that they've seen.
Yeah.
And I think it's a little worrisome for his coaching position. Just because you have Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon, T. Higgins. Like, you have an offensive juggernaut that coming into the season, a lot of people expected to be, like a Super Bowl contender. And right now, it just doesn't look like it.
Yeah, and I think there's 2 stories to this. There's the media and fan perception of he's not doing so hot. And then there's the inside the office. I think, I don't know the owner's name. I think he realizes what's going on, right? Joe Burrow's not at, maybe he's probably not even at 70%. Like, realistically, he's just not playing great. So in my mind, I don't think he's at risk of losing his job this season. If Joe Burrow becomes healthier during the season and they're still not winning games going into the next season, then I would start being a little pressure.
I agree. I think there's still a certain expectation though. I think that they need to make playoffs.
Yeah, they're not going to make
Otherwise,
playoffs.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. They're not going to fire him just because of one bad season, though.
They might, though. There's a lot of expectations in Cincinnati now.
Yeah, but Joe's hurt. If Joe wasn't hurt, I agree, 100%.
Well, we'll see this week because he had the bye week to
rest up.
Bit.
Yep, you're right.
Let's see how he plays this week.
All right, okay, I'm fine with that.
All right, and let's talk about our final one. This one's a little bit of a hot take for me.
Okay.
Sean McDermott.
Okay.
Buffalo Bills coach. He's 4-3.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a secret that they were a Super Bowl, not favorite, but one of the top Super Bowl odds. Best team, right now, and they're 4-3.
Yeah.
Are we worried?
Yeah. I would be a little bit. I mean, they're a strange team. At moments, Josh Allen looks like the best quarterback on the field. And there's other moments where he's throwing 3 interceptions to the Jets. Was it?
Jets first week.
Which the Jets have a good defense, so I give them that. And it was the first week, so first game jitters, whatever. But this is such a strange team. Coming into this, I had them top of their conference. Now they're going to be middle of the pack, and I do think a lot of it comes down to the coaching. Right, they're a top 5 defense. They're a top 5 offense on paper.
I agree. You're right. It's such a weird team because they'll go out and drop 48 on Miami. Hold them to 20, and then they'll have a 14-9 win against the Giants. Giants are 1-5, guys.
You should be dominating them.
Who'd
they just lose to?
The Jets first week. Losing to the Patriots.
Yeah, the Patriots. Where did that come from?
What's going on? The Jaguar game over in London. Yes, it's London, but
yeah.
But what's going on here?
Yeah.
It's they better turn it on in the second half. Otherwise, they might be at risk for not making playoffs.
That'd be crazy if they don't make playoffs. If they don't make playoffs, I think they get rid of McDermott.
I believe so. Yes, because this roster, from top to bottom, is one of the most complete teams in the NFL. They've got Von Miller. They've got Ed Oliver on defense. Tre'Davious White. They've got a ton of.
Don't forget Damar Hamlin.
Damar Hamlin. And I think offensively, you've got a juggernaut too. You've got one of the best passing attacks in the league.
Yeah, the biggest hole they have is running back.
Yeah, James Cook.
He's okay.
He's okay.
They should be winning against the Patriots. Derrick Henry. There we go. Another place. Derrick Henry could go anywhere. Honestly, I know he's up there in age, and he's definitely not what he used to be. But he also used to be a beast. So getting him now is still fine. He's still better than James Cook.
Oh, he's not dropping 2,000 yards. And he's only dropping 1,400.
Oh, okay. I guess I don't know what his contract looks like at the moment.
So this year he's making $10 million. Next year he's making $10 million, and then I think his contract's out.
That's not terrible.
That's not terrible for a great running back.
Yeah, they're gonna trade him. They have to, and
they would be wrong not to.
Yeah,
let's look at the season so far. It hasn't been what you expected.
Nope.
Let's look at the AFC. If you're not winning the division, you're probably not making playoffs. I'm sorry. So going into the offseason, let's make some choices. Maybe overturn the roster right now, and go after one of those top quarterbacks because let's be honest, Tannehill, Malik Willis, and Will Levis probably not the quarterbacks you're looking for the future.
Yeah, you're right. That's tough. I feel bad for Titans. They went from a pretty good team 5 years ago to, or even it was a couple of years ago when they had AJ Brown. Yeah, you're right.
And then they blew it to the Bengals.
Yeah, that's brutal. Okay, yeah. I don't know how we got on ripping on the Titans, but Sean McDermott, if you don't make playoffs, you're gone.
All right, well, let's move on to our college pick'ems for the week.
All right.
Let's first review where we're at this year so far.
Let's do it.
We're gonna start from the bottom this week, then work our way up. Josh, 8-18.
Not great.
Not great, Josh. We're gonna have a better week this week. This is the week.
Second half. He's a second half of the season player.
Yep. Second half, like the Bengals. He is Joe Burrow.
Okay.
Nick sitting at an even 500 of 13-13. That's serviceable. I'll take it.
Yeah, it is what it is. He's been putting his bets on Utah a lot, so
Yep, he's riding that Utah, red wave.
That might serve him coming up the end of the season.
Yep. Justin, you're sitting at a nice 22-19.
Yeah.
It's been a rough couple of weeks. There's been some upsets.
It's okay. I'm not mad at it. I should have picked Alabama because in my core I am an Alabama fan, and I didn't, and I'm kicking myself for that one. But the rest I'm fine with. It is what it is.
And then I'm at the top with a 23-18 record. I'm okay with this. I've kind of hovered around that 500 range.
Yeah, I think we're all around that 500 range. Josh will get there.
Josh will get there.
Yeah.
He'll get there. All right. Let's start off this week. We got some. It feels like upset week, okay? And that's what it feels like. It feels like a trap week.
Okay.
I'm a little worried about it personally.
Okay.
So first, we're going to start off with number 6, Oklahoma, at Kansas. Oklahoma's a 9-point favorite. Who you got?
I got Oklahoma. 9 points, easy for them.
You're riding the wagon.
I love the Gators. Or not the Gators. I'm looking at the wrong team. I like Kansas. I like Kansas. I don't love them, so that's why I'm picking Oklahoma.
All right. I'm going to keep this one for myself here. This is Kansas, okay? Oklahoma's going to win the game, okay?
Yeah, but within 9?
It's going to be within 9. You know why? This is the trap game that I'm talking about.
I think they are taking it one game at. I think you're projecting too much.
They have Oklahoma State next week, who's been playing great as of late. This is a rivalry game next week. They're already looking ahead. This feels like a trap week.
Okay, all right. We'll see how it goes. I mean, Kansas just lost to Oklahoma State, right? By a touchdown.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
All right, we'll see what happens. I'm not mad at it, but I just think Oklahoma's gonna wipe the floor with them.
All right, both Nick and Josh are with you on that.
All right.
I'm saving us.
You're saving
I'm
it.
saving us from the sweep. It hasn't gone well for us this year.
No, it is not.
All right, next we have number 1 Georgia in the swamp in Florida. Georgia's a 14.5-point favorite. Who you got?
This is what the game I was looking at. I love Florida. Normally I'm thinking the Gators might cover this, but Georgia is by far the top 2 teams in college football right now. I think they got this in the bag. 14.5 seems low.
Tennessee rolled into Florida a couple weeks ago. They got their doors blown off.
Tennessee's a completely different story. You can't even compare those two.
This might be the game Georgia loses.
No way.
This might be it. They've looked better the past couple weeks. They had a scary game against Auburn. And then they came back and, punched him in the mouth. Punched their next opponent in the mouth. Can't remember it offhand. Pretty sure it was Kentucky.
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah.
They got blown out, though. This feels like another game. Like, if Florida's not winning it, I think they're keeping it close. Billy Napier riding a nice culture wave right now. I think he's got this one. All right. Nick is also on that bandwagon with me, with Florida.
Okay.
Josh is with you with Georgia.
So I did this last week with Alabama, right? My heart's telling me to go with Alabama, but my head said no. I'm feeling the same way about Florida. Should I switch it? Is it a switch?
I don't know. You went against Bama. Maybe you switch here too. I don't know.
Yeah, my heart's saying it. I'm going with Florida. I think Georgia's going to win, but Florida will keep it close.
All right. I'm glad I switched you over, Justin.
Yeah.
I'm really glad.
I'm a Gators fan, so I just think Georgia is a top tier team, and Florida is not in that range. So
you're right.
But I think Georgia's going to win. They'll keep it close though. Okay, I'm cool with that.
If this was in Georgia, yeah, if it was 27, I'd probably still pick Georgia.
Yeah.
But in the swamp, it's a different.
It
beast
is a different.
when the Gators are in the swamp. Man.
You're right. You're right. I like it. I like it. I think that's the
All
first
right.
switch up we've had.
I think you switched to Colorado State one.
Oh,
It hurts you.
yeah. So that's gonna hurt me too. It's fine. I'm going with my heart on this one. That's all. That's all.
I love it. Gators.
Go Gators.
All right, we got number 8 Oregon at number 13 Utah. This is one of 2 ranked games this week. Oregon's a 6.5 point favorite going into the mountains of Utah. Who you got?
Utah. They pulled up the upset against USC. Will they do it again against? I guess it wasn't an upset.
I think it was an upset. I think USC was
at the time?
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will they do it again with Oregon? And it's at Utah? I think they will. I'm picking Utah.
All right. See, this one was hard for me.
I'm very on the edge.
I'm going to be honest. I was very on the edge. That 6.5 point line, that's a good line.
Yep. Vegas knows what's up. They know what they're doing.
They do. I'm going Oregon. I think Oregon's a different beast this year. They have both the offensive weapons and the defensive weapons. Nick's going to hate me. You know who Nick's got. He's riding that Utah wave. Josh is with me on Oregon. We got a lot of splits here.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, man. I still feel right.
I think that's going to be the closest game. That's definitely the closest game.
For sure. I think so, too. I think that's going to be the best game of the week.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to number 20, Duke. At number 18, Louisville. Duke, tough loss against Florida State. Kept it close until the fourth quarter. Then got, pushed around a little bit.
Yeah.
Riley Leonard got hurt. Wasn't really the same after that. He's still questionable for this week. Louisville, because of that, Louisville's a 4.5 point favorite. Who you got?
I got Duke. I think Duke wins by 10 points.
I don't think Louisville's that good.
I don't think Louisville's ever that good in football.
I agree. They played a good game against Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame was just, beating around a little bit. They came in a little tired, and Louisville finally just got to them.
Yeah, yep.
Duke's a very good team. Their defense is great. Mike Elko's a great coach. I think even with their backup, I think they're going to be fine. I do have Duke here as well.
All right, I like it.
Nick has Louisville in this spot.
Wrong.
Josh is with us on Duke.
Yeah. Nick saved us from the sweep. I'm good with that.
God, thank God we don't have any sweeps.
Yeah, honestly. Well, we might at the end. No, we don't. Never mind. Ignore me.
Perfect. All right. We got number 21, Tennessee, going into Lexington, Kentucky Wildcat territory. Tennessee's a 3.5 point favorite. Who you got here?
I have Tennessee. I believe there was a game earlier this season. I forget which one. It was at Kentucky as well. I can't remember. I might be making this up. I might be completely making this up. But I feel like in my gut there was a game earlier this season that we were picking with Kentucky, and it was at Kentucky, and you were like, "Oh well, it's at Kentucky. It might be a close one," and they got blown out. I don't remember. I could be completely making the story up. I don't think being at Kentucky makes a difference. I think Tennessee wins a touchdown.
I will. In the meantime, I will confirm if we did, in fact, bet on one of these.
Yeah.
I don't quite remember. We've gone through a lot of these games.
I'll try to look back while you give your take on it.
All right. I think this is Kentucky.
All right, straight up.
Kentucky. Yeah, just straight up. I think Tennessee's going to be a little down now because I think they felt good going against Bama. They felt good with that nice lead at halftime.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think they lost a lot of momentum just on the season from Bama coming back. And I think they're going to be a little devastated and a little broken. I think Kentucky comes back.
A little broken.
This game. I think they come back and win this game.
All right, okay. I'm not mad at it. A quick update. We did do a Kentucky game, I believe, 3 weeks ago. But it was against Georgia, and I think I picked Georgia, and they were fine.
Mm-hmm.
I think the game I'm thinking of is the Kansas Missouri game.
Oh, Kansas State, Missouri.
The Kansas State at Missouri.
Yep.
I think that's what it was. And you're like, well, it's at Missouri. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And yeah, that's what that was.
All right, we have Josh picking Tennessee, and we have Nick picking Kentucky.
All right,
so we got another split here.
I love it. A lot of splits this week.
A lot of splits.
I need to see if I'm with Josh on a lot of those because I'm gonna need to change Josh.
I think you're with him.
And a half or 2 or 3.
Yeah, I think you are.
Yeah, that's all right. We got this, Josh. It's another week for us to turn it around.
We'll see. Let's go, Josh. You got it. All right. Our last topic for the day. We got the World Series starting tomorrow. Shocking that the Diamondbacks made it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Arizona.
It's
I
because
don't even think you guys were expecting to come into this postseason and win and make it to the World Series.
It's because we said that Philadelphia was on a hot streak. We ruined it for them. It was us and our 5 listeners out there. Thank you for listening. We blew it for you guys. I'm sorry. City of brotherly love.
Hopefully you're not Philly fans.
Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah. 2 wildcard teams make it to the World Series. I don't know if that's the first time. I don't think it is. I think in '87 they did it when the Twins made it. But shocking. Who you got?
I think I'm going to go Rangers. I think it was a bigger deal that they beat the Astros than it was the Diamondbacks beating the Phillies. I think the Phillies were riding a high and they had a hot streak, but I think overall as a team, the Astros are a better team than Philadelphia. The Rangers looked better during the series. I think they have more star power, and I think it's going to be Rangers in 6.
Okay. I got Rangers in 5.
Okay.
I think the momentum's going to slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
But I said that.
You said that with Philadelphia?
Before. I said it with Philadelphia. I thought after they went out to that 2-0 deficit, I thought they were dead. But they weren't. They came back and won. Diamondbacks are a good team. They deserve to make postseason. I mean, they've had a huge accomplishment. Mm-hmm. I think making it to World Series, I think you guys as fans of Arizona,
you're happy.
I think you can be very proud of this team. But I think even going into next year, I don't think you're one of the top 2 teams.
I agree.
In the MLB. But, it matters when you go out on that pitch, right? I guess it's a field, but...
Yeah, same thing. I think Kettle Marte is the real deal. I think they have a decent lineup, but you're right. They're not going to be a top 2, maybe a top 5 team starting off next season, depending, of course, how the offseason goes. They didn't get lucky to be here. You're right. They deserved to be in the playoffs, and they just played well when it mattered. They dug themselves out of that hole against Philly, and, yeah, they're going to lose steam. I like that it's a Southwest, matchup, a battle out there. But yeah, I think the Rangers are gonna do what they need to do and put it away.
I agree. It's gonna be interesting though, because it's gonna be interesting to see where they put them in that power rankings that they like to put out after the season. Because
a lot of people are gonna put them high.
I don't think so. I think a lot of people are gonna put them low, and I think they're gonna feel a little disrespected.
I think they should put them low. I think you're right on that, but everyone does this every year, right? They take the person that won the championship and they're number 1, no matter what. It's like, let's pump the brakes. Maybe they're not, but they do it every single season. Same thing with number 2. Right? They're gonna put Diamondbacks in the top 3, top 5, top 3, and they don't belong there.
Fair enough.
That's my early next season prediction right there.
All right, guys. If you like the content, comment, subscribe, whatever you guys need to do.
Whatever you want to do, really. Share it with your friends, family, aunt, grandma, uncle, brother, whatever you want.
All right. We will discuss post-trade deadline in the NFL next week. And, of course, we'll have more college picks. And let's be honest, we're going to be reviewing Josh's Horrible takes. His college picks.
No. Sorry, Josh.
All right, guys. See you next week.
Peace.